Hello, budget friends. Thank you for joining me. In this video, I'll be talking about my debt payoff and what it looks like going forward. All right, you guys, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here, welcome. I'm Melissa, and I'm on a mission to become debt-free. Now, this video was inspired by a comment that I received on my latest video. That video was closing out December's monthly budget, but then I did a deep dive into closing out 2024's expenses and giving you guys a rundown of the expenses on a whole. Now, if you haven't seen that video, it will be linked in the cards above or down in the description below. Now, the site that you see on your screen is the Debt Payoff Planner. I'm using the web version, but there's also an app that you can download and use on your phone. Now, this software includes all of my debts and it's going to help me with my debt payoff journey. But most importantly, you guys, you can see it shows a date that I will be completely debt free. Now, that date is January 28th of 2028. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this video is the different features of the software and how it's going to help me achieve my goal of debt freedom. Now, I will be using this alongside YNAB. Now, YNAB is a software that I primarily use to do my budget. I do all of the tracking in there. I do my paycheck assignments in there. And so far, it has helped me on this journey. Now, like I mentioned, the tentative payoff date is January 28th of 2028, and that is 3 years from today's date. Now, I am recording this video on January 15th, but let me tell you guys, the way I feel about my debt right now, I want it gone yesterday. So hopefully we could cut this 3 years down a lot less than what it's showing here. So on the far left side, it gives you all the tabs for the different sections that you could check out. You have home, debts, the strategy, the plan, and the tracking. Now they have a more section here that you could do a little bit more, but we won't need to talk about that. So here it says my payoff progress. So I started using this in, I think it was March or April of 2024, and I have plugged in. Since I've been using it, I have paid off some debts on credit cards, but then I turned around and I used those credit cards again. So here it's saying that I am 39.5% paid. It's saying the total principal that I've paid since I've been using the software is $65,912.33. It's actually true, but you guys know I had some slip ups in 2024 that I did go back and charge some expenses to my credit card. So it has changed the principal that was paid off. Now, the total balance as of today's date on all of my debts is actually $101,020.82. Now, the payoff timeline, it shows the payoff by balance, the payoff by the balance by category, or the balance by debt name. So in December of 2024, the total debt balance that I did discuss with you guys in my debt update was $101,375. In that debt update, it was 62 cents, but 63 cents, but for some reason I'm missing a cent here. So it's showing 101,375 and 62 cents. Not a big deal. So you can see a steady decrease that it's going to take me over the 3 years to become debt free. Now, the next section here is an overall credit utilization that it's showing. It's showing that I'm using 17% of the total credit that I have on all the cards that are in here in the software. Now, our next part here is a daily inspiration. It changes every day. This one says to be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your methods, which I think is spot on. Now, under that, it shows you the progress by category. Now, I have the credit cards here in one category. The balance on my credit cards as of this date is $8,470.57, and I am 78.5% paid off. Now, the personal loans total balance is $39,892.23, and the total payoff progress so far is 36.9%. Now, what I didn't mention about the credit cards, based on the numbers that I have plugged in and the method that's chosen, it's showing that all of the credit cards can be paid off in 2 years. Also, the personal loans can be paid off in 2 years. Now, I only have one student loan, which is up next. The balance is $1,156.06. That can also be paid off in 2 years, and I'm at 27.4% paid. Next one is auto loan. My balance right now is $32,341.53. That also can be paid off in 2 years, and I'm 18.8% paid. Now, next is my 401k loan. It has it listed as other because when I set it up, there was no choice for a 401k loan, and I wanted to have it I guess distinguished from all the other loans. The balance is $19,160.43. I'm 16.5% paid, and it can be paid off in 3 years. Now, the reason why it's showing you when it can be paid off, it's based on a strategy that's already selected in here, and we will discuss that. So we're just going to jump in and we're going to talk about the debts on the side here. So when I click on the debts tab, it lists each debt out individually. So you have ECSI, that's my student loan. I have my Chase card, Apple card, Capital One number 2 card, Lending Club personal loan, Upgrade personal loan, my Expedition, which is my auto loan, my 401k loan, and then Mattress Firm is another credit card. Now let's jump over to the strategy. Now on the strategy tab here, it says to optimize your payoff plan. Now it has a recurring funding section here, and this says the amount to use for making payments each cycle. Now the frequency is once per month, and I can tell you the recurring funding is just all the minimum payments that I have inputted into the software. It's telling me the minimum is $3,339.59. I have no extra payment listed here because as of right now, I can't see myself making any extra payment per month. I usually don't know that until I have created my monthly budget. And sometimes, even after doing that, I don't have any extra money to throw towards that. So the total recurring funding is that $3,339.59. Now, there's also a one-time funding section. So if you know of any windfalls that you have coming up, or any bonus money, or any tax return money that you know that you're going to get, and if you know the amount, you could go ahead and input it here. Now, for me, I'm going to do that right now because I do expect to get my bonus money. I have spoken to you guys about this in my January's monthly budget. I'm just going to go in and put in the amount according to what I budgeted for the month of January. That was $2,265. I'm going to say I'm expecting to get that the 1st of February. I actually want to go through January. I'm not sure. Today is the 15th and I haven't received that money yet, but I do know it comes in January. I just don't know the date that it's coming. So we're just going to save this. This is going to recalculate everything and it's going to put that amount into the debt payoff. So let's jump back to the strategy. I'm going to go over to the home section first, and you can see that the debt payoff date has changed from January to December. So having that one bonus money amount, it's going to save me 1 month of payoff. The debt-free countdown is now 2 years and 11 months. Okay, so let's go back to the strategy. There's something else I want to show you guys. So there's a extra payment priority. And here is which debts get extra payments first. Because I really want to pay this debt off real fast, I'm trying to find different ways or different, strategies to help me. But we're going to talk about the strategies that are listed here. For the debt avalanche, if you don't know what that is for you to prioritize paying off your highest interest rate debt first. Now, the advantage of that is that it's the fastest payoff and the least amount of interest that you'll pay. And for me, I don't want to pay a lot of interest. Now, if you've seen my debt update, I did discuss the amount of interest that I lost to debt in 2024. It was over $14,000, you guys, and I don't want to do that in 2025. So this would be a good method for me to be able to reduce the amount of interest that I'm going to pay. But let's keep going. The time for the first debt to be paid off is 1 year is 1 month and 11 days. The time for all debts to be paid off is 2 years and 11 months. and the interest that I'm going to save is $2,180.57. Now, this is a plus in itself just by looking at these numbers. But we're going to also talk about the debt snowball. Now, this one, if you don't know what it is, it's prioritizing your lowest balance first. So you will list your debt in order of smallest to largest and pay off that smallest debt first. And then, like a snowball going down the hill, you'll take that first debt that was paid, the minimum payment that you paid towards that debt, and put it to the next debt you're going to pay off. The advantage of this one is the most quick wins. Now, for me, this is motivating because I really want the quick wins to keep me going throughout this payoff journey, but we'll see. The time to the first debt being paid off is 1 month and 14 days, so it's a little bit longer than the debt avalanche. The time frame to pay off all the debts is the same for 2 years and 11 months. But you guys, look at this. If I choose the debt snowball, I will only save $74.30 in interest. Now, that for me is discouraging. I don't like that at all. I would love to save a lot more in interest. $74 is not cutting it. But we're going to move on to the next payoff strategy, I would say, and it says custom one. Now, I did have custom one listed there for 2024. Now, I did go in and do custom two. Let's go ahead and choose that. Now, if I choose that custom two plan, it doesn't give me an advantage. It just says my plan is customized, how I would want it. But the time to the first debt being paid off is 1 month and 14 days. The time to all the debts being paid off is 2 years and 11 months. And if I choose this plan, I will save $1,683.21 in interest. Now, that's not bad. Now, as you know, the debt avalanche chooses the highest interest first. So I'm going to jump over to the debts and I'm going to show you what those interest rates are. So for me, the highest interest that I have right now, I believe that one is my Chase credit card. 27.99% is the Chase credit card's interest. I think that's the highest interest rate that I have right now. So if I do choose to do the debt avalanche, Chase will be the first one to be paid off. Then the next one up would be my Apple Card, which the interest rate is 26.74%. Then I will move to my Capital One number two card for 25.97%. Now, it would prioritize paying off my credit cards first, which that is something that I want to do, yes. But what it does is it pushes my student loan to the bottom. Now, the student loan has only 5% interest, but that is also my lowest balance. So, one of my goals for 2024 and even for the first quarter of 2024 is to pay off and eliminate one of my monthly payments. So, student loan, the monthly minimum payment is $40 per month. If I'm able to pay off the student loan, then I won't have that $40 to pay every month. But the same goes for the credit cards. If I can eliminate the credit card debt, the monthly minimum payments that I would have to pay will also be eliminated. So for my Chase card, I do have to pay $46 per month. My Apple card is $50 per month, and my Capital One number two card is $101 per month. So if I'm able to eliminate one of those debts or all of them, I will eliminate the monthly payment. But I'm not sure because when I thought about, eliminating a debt, the first one I really wanted gone was the student loan. I haven't settled on that, but in the back of my mind, I keep telling myself to just get rid of that one and it will be gone. But we'll see. Now, for the debt snowball method, my student loan would be the first to go, then my Chase card, then my Apple card, then my Capital One number two card. Now it goes into, oh, sorry, because I do have Mattress Firm. Now Mattress Firm is on the bottom because it does not have any interest. Now for the snowball, Mattress Firm would come before Capital One number two because the balance is less. The balance right now is $2,057. And for my Capital One number two card is $2,900. So if I'm using the snowball method, I would have to pay that 0% card off first. Do I really want to do that? Not really, because I'm not losing any interest to this card. I'm just paying the balance down. So that's not something that I would want to do based on the snowball method, because even though I want to get rid of the student loan, which is only 5% interest, I think the student loan will give me, or paying it off will give me a boost of confidence to be able to go ahead and pay off one debt. So I think for me, and I did say that before that I'm not settled on it, but the boost of confidence that I would need to eliminate one debt is to pay off that student loan. But we will see. It's really low interest. I don't lose that much per month. I lose more to the credit cards and to these personal loans. Now, for the custom one that I've chosen, custom two, I have chosen to put the student loan first. And then after that is my Chase card, my Apple card, my Capital One number two card, and then Lending Club. So that's the order that I choose for custom number two, because like I said, I'm really thinking about paying off the student loan. So that's the strategy if I am going to use the debt avalanche, the debt snowball, or the custom number two. Now, between the debt avalanche and the custom number two, the interest that I would save between, picking one or the other, it's about $500 or $600 difference. As you can see, it's not feasible to choose the debt snowball because I'm not really saving any money there. So I am between the debt avalanche and custom number two. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select custom number two because I'm leaning more towards this one. And what it's going to do, it's just going to update the way the debts are going to be paid off. So now let's go to the plan. Now here on the plan tab, it gives me a step-by-step plan to my debt-free future. So here I have a total of 8 steps to become debt-free. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on each of the steps, and on the far right, it's going to give you the step drill down as to what's going to happen within each of those steps. So step number 1, it says I can complete this on February 26th of 2025, which is 1 month and 11 days from today. I will pay 8 accounts, which is what I have, all the minimums. So here it is drilled down. Everything will get the minimum all the way through to February. So you could see here, it lists out all of the minimum payments until February. So now let's go over to step number 2. Step number 2 says this can be completed on July 26th of 2025, which is in 5 months. So the special thing that will happen in step number 2, if I'm going with the custom strategy, is that I will pay off my student loan. On March 1st, I will be able to pay off my student loan. Why? Because on February 1st was when I put in that I will get my bonus money. If I put in that I will get my bonus money on January 31st, it will show that I can pay off my student loan in step 1. But I want to be, when I get my bonus money, I will come in and change the date. But what I want to be sure is that I'm accounting for it in the right time. So I can pay off my student loan March 1st of 2025. Chase is going to get some extra money, and then the rest of the 7 accounts will get the minimum payments. So as you can see here, Chase will get an extra $1,225.73. That's because my student loan is just about $1,200. I will have to pay another minimum payment to it for February 1st, but the money that's left out of the bonus money is going to go towards Chase. Everything else is going to get the minimum payments all the way through. And as you can see here, March 1st, my student loan will be paid off. And then again in March, Chase will get an extra payment. And that extra payment is the $40 that I was paying towards my student loan. So instead of paying $46 as a minimum payment for Chase, I will now be paying $86. Okay? Now you can also see that in April of 2025, Chase will now get an additional $40 extra payment. and it goes into May, it will get a $40 extra payment. Into June, it will get a $40 extra payment. And July, it will be paid off. So that will be step number 3. So let's jump over into step 3. This one will be completed on June 28th of 2026, 11 months and 2 days. But in step 3, I will be able to pay off Chase. Now let's look at that drill down. Now here it goes, July of 26, 2025. I can pay off Chase, and then my Apple Card will start getting some extra payment. So $55.72 will be paid to Apple because Chase will still get some of the snowball payment. Now, in August of 2025, Apple will start to get extra payment, and it's going to total $136 because I will be paying the $46 for Chase, and I will also be paying the $40 for the student loan on top of the $50 that I'm paying towards Apple. And that's going to happen throughout the months till we get to, let's see, until we get to June of 2026, where Apple will be getting some extra payment. Now, I'm going to back up a little bit because I want to see when Apple is going to get that extra payment here. So Apple in May of 2026 will still be getting $136. And then you could see that in June of 2026, Apple will get $349.37. And I'm thinking it's because by then Lending Club will be paid off because Lending Club only has 1 year and 6 months of payment left. Now you can see that step 3, like I mentioned, the Chase card will be paid off. Apple will get extra and 6 accounts will get minimums. Now let's go into step 4, which is what I just mentioned before. This will be completed on September 28th of 2026. As you can see, within step 4, I'll be able to pay off Lending Club. And like I mentioned, that's the reason why my Apple Card was able to get some extra payment. But also in step 4, I will be able to pay off my Apple Card. And then my Capital One number 2 card will get some extra payment. And 4 more accounts will get the minimum payment. So let's look at the drill down for that one. So here you go, June of 2026, Lending Club will be paid off, and all the extra payment will start going to my Capital One number 2 card. But not before long, you could see that Apple will be paid off at the end of July 2026, and then everything will be thrown towards my Capital One number 2 card. By August of 2026, my Capital One number 2 card can get $1,296.22. So now let's go into step number 5 because that's what we're up to next. This one will be completed on July 14th of 2027. My Capital One number 2 card will be paid off within step 5. I can throw extra to upgrade, and then there will be 3 accounts that will be getting minimum payments. Now this drill down here, you could see that I can pay some extra to my upgrade loan. $1,884.04 will be going to that. Capital One number 2 will be paid off. And for the time moving forward, upgrade will be getting some extra payment. And that's for the duration of step 5. Now let's go into step 6. My Mattress Firm credit card will be paid off and upgrade will be paid off. Now this can be completed on September 25th of 2027. And let's look at that drill down. So here, Mattress Firm will be paid off. And as you can see, I was not throwing any extra payment to Mattress Firm. The minimum payment was just the $67 moving forward. Now in July of 2027, I will be able to pay some extra payment to my Expedition, which is my auto loan, because upgrade will be paid off. Then in August of 2027, my car loan, the Expedition, will be getting the extra payment. Now let's go over into step 7 and see what happens because the auto loan is a bigger balance, so it's going to take a while to be paid. In step 7, that's when the Expedition, my auto loan, will be paid off. It can be completed on December 28th of 2027. And after I pay off my car loan in step 7, the last one to be paid off is going to be the 401k loan. Now that is the strategy. Now, the only thing that I haven't put in here for the debt payoff is there is no tax return. I do expect to get a little bit of money back from my tax return. And also in 2026, I will also be getting bonus money again. I just don't know what it's going to be. And I can't put that in until we're a little bit closer. So that will also change the amount that's going to go towards debt in the coming year because those things will be getting out. Now, also, what's not in here is the fact that if I do any kind of side hustling or if I get any extra money, where is that going to go? That's not shown here because the only thing I'm sure about what we're going to be getting for extra money as of right now is the bonus money. Okay. So the next section or the next tab that we could look at is the tracking of it. So for me, I've had some mishaps in 2024 where I did go ahead and I used my credit cards to purchase different things and then I added on to some of the credit card balances. That's something that I'm going to try to eliminate completely in 2025. If I can't use a credit card and then pay it back, it will not be used. We're going to talk about what the tracking looks like. So here you could see that my student loan was already paid. As you can see, there's a check mark here that says this is finalized. I have closed that out so far for the month of January because that statement has closed. Now for the recurring funding, I can come in at the end of January and see how much money was put towards the recurring funding. And then for Mattress Firm, today is the 15th. I did already make the payment, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. I can come in and show you if there's any expenses on any of the credit cards or if there's any additional payments that was made. So there's no interest on the Mattress Firm loan. So there's no interest accrued. The previous balance that I started 2025 with is $2,057. I did make the $67 payment, which is the minimum payment on the loan. So right now the balance is $1,990. And I'm just going to mark this as complete because I did already make that payment. So I'm going to change this date to the 14th because that was the due date. And then I'm going to update it and I'm going to mark it complete. So what it's going to do, it's going to show me that Mattress Firm is complete with this green check mark here, and it moves it up to the top. Now here, what's left to be paid in January is my auto loan, the Chase minimum payment, my 401k loan, Apple Card, Capital One number 2, Lending Club, upgrade. I already made my upgrade payment for the month of January, so I have already closed that one out too. So that's what it looks like. One thing I can do here is I can show you my Apple Card. Now, Apple Card here, I did accrue some interest based on what the interest amount was on the statement. I came in and I corrected it. So I lost $41.88 to interest. This was saying that I was going to lose a little bit over $42, but that's not what it is because this software also calculates the interest. So right now the balance is $1,865.45. That's what it's going to be actually after I make the minimum payment. Now, what we're going to do, we're just going to go back to home because that's all of, the ins and out of this software. So because I did make my Mattress Firm payment, you could see that the debts went down to $100,953.82. The countdown for the debt payoff has not changed because we didn't really make any progress, but this is what it is. So you guys, this is my strategy. This is what I'm going to utilize for my debt payoff journey. I will come in here and update as I go. And I think I will come in here each quarter and give you guys a rundown of what we've done so far. I'm choosing the custom payoff strategy to help me accomplish debt freedom. We're just gonna knock out that student loan. I think I've just made the decision to knock off the student loan first and then just move into paying off the credit cards after that. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I hope that you have gotten some insight as to what my plans are moving forward. I hope that this video encourages you to make a plan for your debt payoff. make a plan. If you don't have a plan, you guys, you are just walking around in the dark. So make a plan. At least you have some idea of where you have to put your money before it actually hits your bank account or your wallet or your hands or your pockets. Make a plan for it, because the plan is very important. Thank you so much for being here. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and click the like button if you enjoyed and got some, insight or encouragement from this video. And I will come back and see you guys next time. Bye now.